Hi friends, welcome to Rouse Rising. My name is Katie, and on this channel I share with you all kinds of made from scratch goodness that includes some homemaking on the side and everything that involves food prep for my large family of 7 and growing. Okay, this is my cast iron skillet, and we are going to talk today about how to clean your cast iron skillets after you get a stuck on mess. This is a mess from yesterday when ground beef was made in this cast iron skillet and it got left to sit here on the stove top overnight. So what I'm going to do is take it over here into some hot water, and I am going to first scrub it with a plastic scrubby brush or whatever kind of scrub brush you have. If you have a natural bristle one, that might work too for the mess in your pan, just depending. So I'm using some hot water and immediately scrubbing it. The last thing I do not want to do is let this pan soak in water. So I don't let my cast iron skillets soak in water. That puts them at risk for getting rusty. So as soon as you clean your pan, this would be just the basic cleaning I would do if I didn't have any stuck on mess. I would just use hot water and this scrubby brush, and then what I do is take it back over to the stove. I towel dry it really well, and then I place it back on the hot stove top. But what I'm going to discover here is that this pan is still going to have a bit of a food film on the bottom of it, which will cause food to stick. So if you're not cleaning your cast iron pans well enough, if you're not using your cast iron pans regularly, these are things that are gonna start to cause some issues. So the more you use your cast iron skillet and the cleaner that you keep it between uses, the more stick free it's going to be. So you can see on this one I have some buildup on the base here that I'm going to clean. I'm going to do a stripping of this pan in a future video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so that you can be notified when that video comes out. But as you can see right there on the stovetop, this pan had some residue, some white cloudiness, brown cloudiness on it. So we're going to take it back over to the sink into the hot water. I'm going to squirt some unscented, non-toxic soap into this pan, just whatever kind of soap you have. I do not recommend using Dawn or anything that has scent to it or anything too crazy. So just squirt some soap in there and use your wire scrubber to really get all of that junk off of there. So we're just trying to peel off this very thin but smooth layer of food buildup from cooking yesterday in this pan. It was very smooth and I didn't notice it when the pan was wet, but once it was completely dry, I could totally see the thin layer of food that was stuck on there. That is quite enough to cause a sticky situation inside your pan. So now I'm going to rinse it out again with hot water, get it rinsed out really well, and dry it off. Oh, some of you are gasping that I used soap. It's okay to use soap in your cast iron pan, and it's okay to season your pan in between. This does not ruin your cast iron skillet. If you leave this pan wet, it will rust, and that will mess up your skillet temporarily until you fix it, and there's a way to fix it, and I'll share that with you in a future video. But as you can see now, most all of that white film is gone off of this pan, so we're going to take it back over to the stove where we are going to warm it up and put a thin layer of oil on it. And we are going to be using coconut oil today. You can use tallow, you can use some kind of cast iron balm. They sell specialty seasons for your cast iron skillets online. You can purchase something from there, but I just use this old oiled cloth, and I put a very thin layer of coconut oil on my pan, and then you go back with a dry cloth that doesn't have any oil on it, and you want to wipe all of the excess oil off of your pan. If you leave too much oil in your pan while it warms on the stove, it will burn the oil to the pan, and that's going to cause another sticky situation. So don't walk away from your pan. Don't leave it on there to where it's smoking and burning the oil in the pan, because that will cause a problem. Off screen you can't see it there, but I am putting a small bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. This pan is going to sit on the flame until just before it starts to smoke, and then I'm going to turn it off and let it come to a complete cool. This is going to be my non-stick cooking surface, and the next time I use this pan, the food is just going to slide around in it beautifully because it has maintained its seasoning despite me using soap, and this oiling process between uses really maintains the beautiful surface of this cast iron skillet. You're going to see how smooth and how slick the surface is when I cook French toast in it, or when I make scrambled eggs, fried eggs, whatever it is. As long as I'm using adequate fat in the pan, everything's going to slide around on this beautiful surface. I hope that you learned a little bit from this video, and that it takes away some of the intimidation that is cast iron skillet cooking. It really is a breeze. It really is such a wonderful way to cook. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!